Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Kim Durama. Welcome to MindBody TV. Today, I'm going to be sharing about two major requirements for self-healing, for manifesting anything, for allowing the fruition of all that's in your heart. And it's not about doing more or eating the right foods or taking the right supplements or doing a bunch of exercises. It's really about embodying these two things. So it's not going to be a big delay of holding you in suspense. I'm going to share it right up front, and then we'll get into talking about what are these, how do we embody them, and how do they allow us to receive so much of what we've been asking for. And that is courage and willingness. Maybe not kind of what you were expecting as far as what we learned about manifesting. You got to do more. You got to, breathe the right way. You have to attract what you want. You have to focus and get clear. And there's a lot of things that we can put on that list about what's required to manifest. But the most important things that I've found to allow us to really receive what's in store for us are to be in that space of courage and to be willing to receive what we're asking for. So I want to welcome everyone who's here live, and I want to give a shout out to everyone who's listening to the replay or the MindBody TV podcast. Hello, Randy, Carrie, Alex, Rachel. And I want to hear what your thoughts are on this, because what is it you typically think is required, or that you've learned or been told is required in order to manifest? There are a lot of things we do that are efforting and that are in, that doing work. And I have found that dynamically blocks us from truly receiving. That's why my main program is called Embracing Health and not Work Hard and Manifest Health. The biggest thing I've seen that holds people back is that they're trying to create it, when really we are here to receive everything that our heart truly desires. So hello, Alicia from Canada. I'd love to hear where people are tuning in from. Laura from Pagosa Springs. That's really interesting because that's not far from where I am out here in Durango. Woohoo! And it's beautiful out here, and Pagosa Springs is really beautiful as well. Hello, Allie from San Francisco. Okay, so let's get into it. So courage is, as many of you know, so courage and willingness are the two things. Courage comes from the word cor, which is the heart. So what does this have to do with manifesting and self-healing? Well, the electromagnetics of the heart. In science, we've looked at kind of the read. We can get an actual tangible read of what the heart is doing electromagnetic. What is the state of the heart electromagnetically? What is the output and the message that the heart is sending? And this is up to 8 to 10 feet away from your body. In fact, the heart is the strongest and most powerful electromagnetic field in your body. It sets the stage for everything. And so when you tune into this space of the heart, not in your mind and what you think, you tune into this space of the heart, it allows a repatterning of everything going on in your brain. That's one of the biggest reasons why people will say, but I don't understand, but I've got to be realistic, and I've got to, this is what is going on, and I've got to deal with quote unquote reality. But the reality that is in your perception is really just a product of what's going on in your brain. It is not the ultimate truth of what's available to you. If you enter the heart, just take a few deep breaths. Allow yourself to feel the space of your heart. It resets the electromagnetics to a higher frequency. So when you just feel the space of a person you love, or maybe a magical day you've had that was beautiful, and an experience that you loved, it shifts you into a higher electromagnetic experience. And that will immediately affect your brain, your thoughts, your ideas, your beliefs, what you're feeling emotionally, and your perception. So it's way, way, way more powerful to move into that space of the heart. And courage is exactly that. It's choosing what we know from our heart, what's calling us inside, what's in that space of yes, 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 instead of what we think. So the whole world may look like it's impossible. You can't have this, you can't have that. It'll never be this, you'll never do that. Or the way we see history. I've always been this sick and nothing's ever worked for me, and so therefore. And we make all these conclusions, judgments, and beliefs based on that. If you want to release that really, really quickly, move into the space of the heart. It takes courage to let go of what you think and what's been quote unquote proven in the reality outside of you, which is actually just one possibility. It's not anything compared to the infinite possibilities that are really possible. And I think this is a little bit easier to like tangibly understand now than it ever has been before, because of all the science that we have to show what's going on in the brain. The brain has this neuroplasticity. It's always changing and morphing, so that the reality we think is real is like, whoa, everything looks totally different. That's not reality at all. To show that our perception and what we think is happening, what we think is possible or not possible, oh, this person is never going to be able to do that for me, is really just a conclusion. It's not actually the truth, that these things can be shifted and changed very, very quickly. To show that what we think and what we believe is not actually even real. So it might have been a little airy-fairy to say, oh, you choose your reality, or, you know, this reality isn't even real, or there are infinite realities that are possible. And it's like, well, what does that mean? But now we have a lot more brain science to understand how our perception and our beliefs literally dictate everything that we see to be true. So you could be looking at a tree and see a totally different tree than the person next to you, because they're in a different harmonic. They're in a different electromagnetic frequency. All right, Randy says, I'd love to know how this can assist me with the recurring patterns in my love life. Well, big time. Every time I meet someone who seems like a great fit and maybe even tells me he loves me, he ends up ghosting me. The guys I seem most interested in, you know, I want to encourage you, if you would be interested in a private session, because I know you've asked so many times about this, and there's a lot of layers that are in this pattern. So if that is resonating for you ever, you know that you're welcome to choose that. It's at drkimd.com/mini integration. Anyway, the guys I seem most interested in are either far away, or if they're local, they don't actually want to take me out on dates and build a real relationship. I know you said in a video recently that if you feel envy over what someone else is having, it's actually a sign of what's available to you. I have a friend who's effortlessly drawing the exact type of guy that I want, who takes her out on dates and trips, and it's so hard for me not to feel so much contraction around this. Good, so you're aware that you're holding a barrier to it, that somewhere, I can't have it, I don't believe it, why does she get to have it, why don't I get to have it? There's anger and there's resentment, and a big piece of it is resentment that it hasn't happened yet, or like you've done it wrong, that you haven't gotten this right yet. So you're not actually in the flow of, I allow whatever wants to show up, and it's perfectly beautiful. You're still in a little bit of the grungy over how it's gone in the past. I've tried not making myself wrong, releasing attachment, celebrating who I am, aligning with the end state, but I'm wondering if there's something I'm just not seeing. I feel so discouraged. Okay, the space you're in now is not one of celebrating who I am. Period, the end. You can't be celebrating and appreciating what is and really grungy and upset about it at the same time. It's really a matter of moving more and more and more into, why is this all perfect exactly how it's gone? Because until you can get into that alignment, you can't allow yourself to receive something higher, a new awareness, a new way of doing it. So as far as this goes, and this kind of goes into the second piece, the willingness. Would you be willing to see, yeah, there's a little bit of making myself wrong, like a make wrong here, where if you were willing to see like, oh, it's so easy, it's so effortless, it's been here for me all along, you would go into this total make wrong of like, I didn't get it sooner, and all the way I did it before that was not aligned with this. So somewhere you're kind of trying to protect yourself from that and hold the space of, it really is impossible for me. You don't understand. This really is true for me. This really isn't the way it is, kind of to your detriment. And you don't need to do that. You don't need to prove yourself right. You are right 100,000%. And you can just celebrate that in the reality you're currently standing in, this is the way it's aligned. And this is the truth you live. And these guys just kind of run away and nothing ever works. And would you have the courage step into a whole different reality where everything works differently and nothing is as it was before? So you don't have to fix those patterns. They don't exist anymore. So would you be willing to step into that? without making yourself wrong or without making it wrong that you didn't get it sooner. That's kind of the read I'm getting here. It is right here for you. So there's no question about that. And it's funny that you're talking about this friend who's got it in the total picture and you're like, ah. So see if you can delight in that a little bit more, like, okay, it already is in my life. It's right here. What would it take for me to effortlessly welcome that in and be in total delight? And so ask that question 10 times a day and feel the resonance of it, like, oh, because it'll snap you out of that, I don't have it, why is it not here? And move you into a higher frequency. So would you be willing to have the courage to see, oh, there's way more possible than what I allowed before? All of this is kind of growing you into the person you're ready to be in that partnership. So it really could be easy. Carrie, what about having to be specific enough? Is that really important? Can it prevent you from getting what you really want? Okay, the specificity can get in the way because the frequency of what you're choosing is, you can just be really general about it. What would it take for me to have a life of total ease and enjoyment? Versus like, I don't know what brings me joy. I don't know what I like to do. I don't know what would be the choice that would bring me the most. Sometimes being specific is going to bump you out of it because you think, I got to focus or I have to know already. And you don't. If you move into the space of the heart, there's already a knowing of, oh, what if it could be easy? What if I could really actually just receive what I'm asking for on every level? And then release the way you're making that be a challenge. And release the way the perception comes in that says, but it's not, but it's not, but it's not. Look at this, look at this, look at this. And have the courage to let go of what seems to be happening on the outside. I had a great example of this. This woman that I had worked with applied these tools, Ho'oponopono tool, and just some of the other things I've been sharing. And she was in the situation with her ex, who's the father of their child, and she was in this really contracted state. I can't have what I need. He's totally ruining my life. He's lying, and there's deceit, and there's all these things happening. And through just shifting her electromagnetics and coming into the space, and what she said to me this morning, she sent me this beautiful email. It said, because she had to sort of buy out of what she was seeing externally, I kept reminding myself, stay in the flow of life and do not be moved by what appears to be. And the situation she was in was pretty contracted because it was like, my child's going to be taken away. Every week he has to go over there and he doesn't want to. There's an abusive situation. He's crying and telling me, don't make me go. I don't want to go. And I'm powerless. I can't do anything about it. So the reality, I'm powerless, was really anchored in her system. And so she could keep seeing all these ways that that's true, and fighting against it. But it got so painful and so impossible that she was willing to have the courage to hold space for something higher and allow that to come in. And she actually used the Ho'oponopono for herself and for everyone involved in a court situation and in her family. And it was amazing what happened. And I've had many, many people experience that as well, especially with a court situation that feels like there's nothing I can do here. It's way more powerful than me. I am powerless in this situation. And so I just get to function that way and fight. Versus I'm connected with all that is happening here and all the beings involved. As I enter a greater space of harmony, all of us can shift into a higher space of consciousness and awakening. So that was really, really beautiful to read that. So courage, definitely. It's about not buying so much into what appears to be true and what appears to be real, and entering into this higher space of what you know. And so if there's pain, what you know is, this isn't even true for me. If there's pain and lack, what you know is, it doesn't have to be this way. There's something higher for me. There's more abundance for me. Ragnhild says, good evening from Norway. Are you talking about the limbic system? Your brain and your limbic system are totally linked into this. The fight or flight response, the reptilian brain, the core subconscious part of your brain is deeply affected by the harmonics of your heart. It'll immediately shift. It'll release fear. It'll release old patterns, old beliefs, old identities, old experience, blah, 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 and synchronize to a higher frequency of, I am connected with all that is. And as I enter a higher state of harmony, I allow and invite everyone around me to do the same. The Ho'oponopono work, by the way, is at drkimd.com/pono, Pono. So for those of you who are interested in that, it's very, very beautiful as I've learned it. And the way I've shared it is a really simplified version of practicing that work. Carrie, how do we truly trust that we don't have to work hard when nothing is showing up? It's not so much about trusting as it is about connecting with the part of you that already knows. So your body doesn't lie. If you go into the space of, and just feel this in your body, Carrie, and anyone else who's resonating with that, I've got to work hard. It's not so simple like Kim's saying. There's way more to it. Or if I go into the simplistic thing, I'm going to miss something, and then I'm going to get duped, and I'm going to fall back, or whatever all that is. And just feel how that resonates for you. Is it contracted or is it expansive? And just take 5 deep breaths. Oh, no, I can't just trust because I'm gonna miss something. Or no, this doesn't make sense to me because I do have to work hard. If you're still resonating there, it will actually feel aligned. If you're ready to move beyond that, it will feel contracted. Like, ooh, that's hard work. Now I want you to feel into, take a breath, relax your body. It's okay for me to let go and receive. Not even that what the mind thinks about trust so much. It's okay for me to let go, and all of it is here on some level for me to receive. Maybe not in the timeline I'm expecting, maybe not in the form that I'm wanting it to show up, but in the fluidity of my ease and grace and joy and total effortless receiving. Life is that abundant. I am that loved, and I am willing to receive that fluidly. So you'll feel the difference in resonance. Your body will, oh, wow. Even if you don't believe it and your mind's like, yeah, but that's a bunch of crap. It's okay. There is a knowing. And so when you connect with that, even for just 10 seconds, so my alarm goes off 3 times a day, has a little chime, and I connect with my heart and I expand that space of pure love out beyond me. And I just take a few deep breaths. Sometimes it's minutes, I'll stay with it. Sometimes it's just a few seconds, but every day I do it. And then what happens is during the day, it happens automatically without the reminder, because I'm practicing it so much, and then I'm celebrating it, and then I'm inviting that it just happens automatically. So that is, and I did a video on my YouTube, brain heart coherence technique. It's one of the videos I did. And then in the beginning of the year, there was Connect with Your Heart in 2019. That was a really great video, just a simplistic way to do this. Oh, and drkimd.com/mini. For those of you who would like to work with me privately, there are not a lot of availability for that, but occasionally people are ready for that, and we'll go a lot deeper. You know, how to feel love and compassion for myself, because I can't feel it. So I would just feel, even if you just put your hands on your heart and breathe and resonate, even if you could feel your heart beating, sometimes you can feel your heart beating, and take 10 breaths to feel that. That's enough. So if there's this idea of, am I feeling compassion? I'm not feeling compassion. It's okay. It's right here. So maybe you just feel it physically. And as you breathe, you're letting go of everything else you've been focusing on and all the other records you're putting energy into playing, and it turns them off or tunes them out. And you're tuning into a deeper space. So that's enough, just feeling into that resonance. Alicia, I know you said you came up with the idea for your business in the hot tub while you were relaxed. I have a difficult time clearing my mind and being still, but I do feel into my heart at least 3 times a day. If I'm not able to clear my mind for long periods of time in order to receive ideas from my heart, will I still receive the resources I need, or take it in? Or will it take longer because I'm not able to be still in the present moment? Yeah, don't create a problem for yourself. Like, oh, I'm not able to be still, so it's not okay for me. Be really gentle with yourself, because that's the resonance of the heart. Hey, what if it's okay anyway? I've got 8 million thoughts racing through my head, and I still choose to feel pure love that it's all okay. I have a million things going on, and I choose to be completely receptive to the highest of my ability. So yeah, you may be more receptive at a time. Maybe you do kind of learn to embrace stillness. But I know for me, that has been a huge challenge. So what I do is I'll talk more slowly. I'll breathe more slowly. I'll move more slowly. Not all the time. I'm so not good at it all the time. But I'll do it willingly whenever there's chaos or whenever there's the knowing of, oh, I want to tune in more. How do I tune in more? Slow down. So I'll slow down physically in order to invite slowing down mentally and emotionally. I'll slow down physically in order to, if you ever have a space like, oh my God, I'm so busy, there's so much on my schedule, I don't have time. That's a delusion. Never true, ever. So people will say, but I have to do this and I have to do that and and all these things need my attention. Chaos never needs your attention. If there's chaos, stillness needs your attention. So if there's mental chaos, find physical stillness. Take 10 breaths as slowly as you can. Sometimes you can breathe just 1 breath a minute. Not that you're trying, you just as slowly as feels comfortable and slow it down. And I guarantee you that will allow more receptivity. Nicole, I ordered some supplements. That felt like a yes when I was reading all these testimonials. I got them yesterday, but I can't bring myself to take them. I took half a scoop as one of the products, and I've had so much more head pressure ever since. Sometimes there's a lot here. There's several layers here. Sometimes we do something that feels totally clear and you're like, yes, and I'm choosing my yes. And then it doesn't go the way we think it should. So we go, oh my God, I must have been wrong. I shouldn't trust my yes. I can't trust my yes. I must be doing it wrong. Something must be off for me. Sometimes we choose our yes and everything blows up. You know, like I started choosing my yes and my marriage, this was a previous marriage, totally fell apart within like minutes. Not literally minutes, but very, very, very quickly. And all the things that I'd been holding together for years dissolved within days. And I was aware of like, okay, because I had a lot of clarity. If this is really what's aligned for me, God, I'm 100% in to receive whatever is my highest and best. And it definitely guided me to leave and leave fast. But if I made that wrong, like, well, I chose myself and things didn't work out and my lover left me or I got fired from my job or my body started having symptoms, then I would just be on this constant whirlwind of back and forth. I should do this, I should do that, because you're judging your knowing based on the external. When you're willing to judge that I know unconditionally, no matter what happens, no matter what it looks like, no matter how I feel or don't feel, no matter how this journey goes, I choose my knowing. One of my favorite quotes from A.T. Still, who's the founder of osteopathic medicine. I'm an osteopathic doctor. A.T. Still said, "No, you are right, and do your work accordingly." And I used to have that quote in my office. I blew it up with pretty font and just stuck it on the wall, because when I'd be treating a patient, my mind would come in. What am I doing? Am I doing the right thing? Is this? Is that? What's this? What's that? Kim? And I would let that go. No, you are right, and do your work accordingly. And amazing, amazing things would come through, and people would have profound healing. They were like, I don't know what you're doing. What are you doing? And I was like, I'm not doing so much as presencing, allowing source to come through to rebalance that person's system. That's really what osteopathic medicine's about. But if I didn't remember that, I'd get all caught up with, am I doing this? Am I doing that? Should I do this? And doubt myself. So, okay. Nicole says, I'm desperate to feel better and get rid of all this head crap. But when I ordered these, I felt like, yeah, my body and my gut need this. Now I'm just angry and frustrated that I ordered them and I feel this way. After taking a small scoop, I didn't even take everything. I'm so sick of this head pressure and I've tried everything. Nothing. Well, that is not, that I would enter more into the frustration rather than the physical stuff of what's coming up, because this is perfect. Everything is a yes. Even if the supplement isn't a contribution to you, to show you like the lack of centeredness and the grasping of, I want this, I want that, maybe, oh, the testimonials look good, okay, I should do this. But there's been a major avoidance of connecting more deeply with yourself. And so until you are willing to go there more deeply with yourself and unconditionally, everything will do this. Everything will be an affirmation of, there's nothing out there to save me, because there isn't. And there's nothing out there to save you is just an affirmation of, I have all I need within me. So I would move toward that. Eve, hi Kim from Southampton. Always a treat to see you. Hello, Eve. Randy, thank you so much. I get what you said. I'm willing to have the courage and the willingness. Beautiful. Rachel, this week's topic is perfect for me as I've finally given my body permission to release everything associated with my diagnosis that I was given 3 years ago and all the limitations around this. I realize there's so much more available to me, and living with the limitations of what I bought into for so long has been contracted. Hand on heart, body, you are free to release all of this, and my energy levels have soared. Thank you for teaching me this. Yay! You're very welcome. All right. Carrie says, thank you. You make it sound so possible. Okay. Thank you very much. You're very welcome. Mary, we need to remember that, quote, we are already abundant. Everything we need is already inside of us. Yeah. So that's a beautiful thing. And that is what allows the opening of the outer world to reflect and have resources like a supplement that sustains us. But it's not the same as that thing being what saves us. We've got to connect first with that inner source. And sometimes it's just a matter of going more deeply, connecting more deeply with ourselves. And the pathway to that is very often going more deeply into our pain, not in a sadistic way, but in a I am willing to meet the depth of my pain and the depth of myself. So the willingness comes in here, and I'll talk more about the willingness. So much of what we do is because we're unwilling to meet ourselves fully. We're unwilling to be that powerful. And in fact, someone in the Embracing Health group was just sharing something about, an experience they were in resistance to, and then to realize, whoa, I'm that powerful. That's scary. I've not been willing to be that powerful. And so then all these problems. So would I be willing to be that powerful, even though it's scary, and have the willingness to move into the truth of who I am? Nicole, I feel like I try to connect deeply every day, but I don't know how to go even deeper, I guess. Well, that's okay. So much of what you're doing is the trying is getting in the way of the being. Even if you just took a vacation. You ever see that movie, What About Bob? And he goes, you need to take a vacation from your problems. And he goes up to Lake Winnipesaukee. He's like, I took a vacation from my problems. So that will bring you in a different mindset. And yes, you might feel like crap physically, and that's there. I'm not saying that's going to go away in 10 seconds. It's just that you're not going to try so hard to get out of it and wiggle out of it and figure it out and feel better, but just give yourself a vacation from trying to fix it and trying in general, because that's 99% of the equation of what's blocking things for you. Okay, Heather Pert, advice for a chronically indecisive person. This is about getting out of the mind and coming into the heart. And I had someone in the Be the Medicine program who was exactly in the space, but I'm moving and then this and then that, but I'm near family now, and then I won't be near family. Will it be okay? But my husband's job will make enough money, but I really don't like it here, and I really do like it there. And all over the world. And that's just in the infinite, seemingly infinite stuff she does know about these two places, moving and staying. What about the whole universe of infinite possibilities that she doesn't even know to consider? That's when we've got to go into the heart and feel. And so first start with stillness. Just breathe more slowly. Tune into the heartbeat, feel your breath. And then go into the resonance of, what if I could receive all the grace I'm asking for right now? So the resonance of that, not the outcome, but the the result. What is it I want to step into? What is the ease and the grace and the abundance and the fluidity and the love and the cherishing, whatever the specific of the quality is, it's all the same. It's all pure love. So go into the resonance of that space of freedom and pure love. And that will bring you out of the mind. So that will be easier to choose from what you know. I choose everything that's aligned with this knowing and this brilliance and this magnificence and joy and beauty in me. I choose everything that's aligned with this yes in me. Mary, is it normal to have a headache the day after acupuncture? Yeah, that's not abnormal. You could call the acupuncturist if there's major problems or questions related with that, but a lot of times it's very detoxifying and rebalancing, and the body's like going through a reboot. So give it a day and drink a ton of water. Lindsay, oh, okay, Zadie, I have to let go of some of the things that are a no for me. And I'm looking for more of my yes. What do you suggest? Well, if there are things that are a no and you're still choosing them, like a relationship or, well, I really hate my job, but I have to do it anyway, because I have these conclusions, and you don't feel strong enough to or clear enough to see a doorway beyond that, just keep residing in this space of knowing, wow, I can really see clearly how I'm compromising myself here, how I'm staying in a relationship or engaging in relationships that really don't inspire me. And so wherever it is that I'm compromising myself, I choose to release this and come more into alignment with self-love, cherishing, and honoring. And that doesn't mean like someone calls up the next day and says, hey, I have a job for you. That's everything you've ever wanted. Maybe you end up staying in that same exact place for a long time and you're like, huh. But noticing without blaming yourself and with the total willingness, I'm willing to choose something higher than this, even though I don't see it now. I'm willing to choose something more expansive than this, even though my mind has no idea how that could happen. Because in the heart, there's total awareness and you don't have to know. Mary, okay, Jenny. Yes, I know. All right, she says, I friggin' love you. Allie, I feel into that. There is nothing out there to save me. I only need to choose my own salvation. Yep. Okay. This has been a beautiful session. So courage and willingness and how those are really doorways. And they are, I would say, like the only major requirements, because as you have courage, then choosing what's aligned with your yes, it's like courage and willingness. You can't not choose what's aligned with your yes if you have the courage and you have the willingness. So everything else follows as far as what gets created, what is perceived, what you begin to see and sense and align with and know, like, oh, yeah, I really do want to go kite surfing for our vacation this summer, and I really don't want to go whatever I was going to do. I don't know, that's a great example, but that came to us the other day on the ski lift that we've wanted to do this for so long, and I'm like, oh, it's not the time, I don't know, and now I'm like, yeah, let's go and do something. The inspiration came in. But those ideas won't come when you're not in the space of courage and willingness. If you're in your grungy, there's something else to be worked out. So be willing to go beyond what you think you know and what you see in front of you and what seems real, and trust this deeper sense of what's really possible and what life is asking you to open to, and be willing to let that in and to receive it, even though you're not good enough, even though you're not working hard enough for it, even though you've done all these bad things in the past, even though your mind says it's not possible, your mom says it's not possible. Be willing to face all of it, all of your fear, all of your shame, all of your doubt, and this will allow so much more to be received by the body. All right, lots of love, and goodbye to everybody here. Make sure you're subscribed at drkimd.com. We're going to be sharing some really exciting things going on this month with the World Tapping Summit, so I'll be emailing links to some amazing talks related to that. And next week, for sure, we're going to do some EFT meridian tapping, which is one of my favorite things to do, to just help your body let go of so much that's been held physically, mentally, emotionally, things that have been anchored into your system. So stay tuned for that next week. Lots of love, and I'll see you soon.